Well, out at the range again. One thing with the corona, if you can see something positive, is that I've been solo alone the last month on the range. So that means I have the whole range for myself. I've been checking some targets. From the last time I was shooting, I was worried my pellets went sideways, and I think after checking my gun and everything, disassembled it and put it back together, and also check here. There is nothing coming sideways, not on this side. So I guess I had some paper up hanging very loose, very thin paper, like printer paper, and maybe it's too thin, so the pellet just tears it apart when it hits, when it's nothing solid in the background. So today I did put up some targets, real paper targets, and I clamped it up thoroughly so they're not hanging loose too much. And I'm gonna try some three different ammos, the Hades, the 1589ers, and the 18.13 grainers, and see if all the holes are like they should be and nothing is sideways. And I'm gonna shoot without anything, and even the muzzle brake in the front, I will try to screw that off and with different ammos and see what I get, and also accuracy wise. So it's gonna be interesting today. Yeah, so we're here, we're setting up. I can hear some auto fire in the background, and over there some rifles and pistols. So there are some activities here at the range, but here on the airgun range it's pretty empty except for me, which have been the norm the last month, I would say, but people are probably waiting out better times. Gonna do some testing with 3 different pellets, 18.30 grainers, which I thought was tumbling around last time, but probably, hopefully, that was crappy paper without no backstop really, so it just tore the paper up, I hope. 22 Hades and the 1589 grainers, and we are gonna try different setups, like with this one, which is actually a NATO silencer, customized for this. And as you can see, there is nothing inside, it's just empty. But actually, it's taking some noise off. It's like on the new US sold FXs, I think they put something on like this. It looks like a silencer, but it's empty, but it's working. So I'm going to try with this on, this off, open like this with the cap off, and I'm going to try with the cap on. I will also hold this thing for a while. I thought maybe, because the gun at one point fell off a table to a soft wood floor, and I thought maybe it got a little bent, and I've been trying to roll it around on a flat surface, but I can't see much, so I'm going to try it without this, just with the muzzle brake. And I'm also think I'm going to try it like this, without the muzzle brake, just the barrel. So I think I'm going to start like this, and then build the stuff on. Put this on, shoot 5 with this on, and put this on 5, this on 5, and with this 5, with all 3 ammos. So it's going to be like around 75 shots with this. So let's do it. Oh, always these FXs are nasty. You have to fill them up, and you have to caulk them too. Oh, I never get used to that. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I did some sighting in. As you can see, I'm shooting tether today. Thank you, Mats, again for lending me your bottle. I still didn't get my compressor. I ordered one of these 12 volts, 220 volts mobile things, and they've been out of stock since September, October. And since they're made in China, well, it's going to take some time. Officially June, July delivered. So I'm very happy, Mats, to borrow your bottle every now and then, and you fill it up also for me. Actually, he fills this up. It's a 3-liter one with his Yongheng compressor, which is the heavy duty model, and it works pretty fine, but it's been running a lot now, so it starts to sound a little jerky every now and then when you fill, especially when you fill the bottle, and you have to fill it. I mean, in different sessions, you can't fill the full bottle at once. But still, I'm very happy. So I've sighted in 18.13 grainers. I'm not going to try to win the accuracy test today because the wind is all over the place and jerky, and so the only thing I'm interested in actually mainly is to see if I'm punching nice holes. So let's start. $110 yards. Oh. Where are the targets? Somewhere over there. Okay. So that's a lot of side wind from left to right. A lot of wind. Took my pellet like 20 centimeters, like 8-inch. So far, nice and round holes. That's the only important thing today. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place right now because of the wind. I think they are like 3 inches apart at least. Yeah, that was 5. So let's put the muzzle brake on. I did set my trigger. It's kind of jumpy. It's absolutely one stage, super one stage, and as easy as it's possible. I did set it down all the way. So a muzzle brake on. Oh, that was way off. Windy. Actually, this is interesting. Now it's like 3.5, 4 inches under with the muzzle brake on. Same pellet weight. Basically, they're just all over the place. But still punching nice and round holes. That's what we wanted to see today. No pellets swirling, spinning. Proper paper. Okay, that was 5. Let's put this thing on without the end cap. 5 like this, and 5 with the end cap on, and then 5 with this empty silencer. Okay, so silencer, shroud, moderator. I never learned which is which in English, but this is the factory moderator silencer from FX, and without the end cap on. So let's give it 5. Nice round hole. Okay, we're out of pellets. Let's put in another 14. This is the 14 Cal 22 magazine delivered on the later Royals. I think this is 2017 or 18 Royale with the smooth twist and the factory installed regulator, and also with a bigger magazine. The original ones delivered on the first Royals for the first years do take 12 pellets, but I'm happy for this because it takes 14. Even if I wish I had one of those impact mags, 28 pellets or something, That's gonna be my next thing. One day I'm gonna own an Impact for sure, even if I have to sell one of my kidneys. And hopefully, with a hunter's degree, I can order a caliber 35. I don't think it's idea for me to order another 22 or 25. This is shooting so well on paper targets, so that would be for bigger cal. Impact would be for hunting purposes, like pest control. Okay, 4 more. Nice round holes. That's what we want to see. Okay, and now the end cap on. Last time I was pretty freaked out because I thought I had some clipping, because my pellets were punching that thin paper without any good backstop behind it. Were just, you know, hanging more or less loose with a couple of clips on, and were punching like holes like this. So I thought I had some clipping here. So what I want to see now is 5 more beautiful round punched holes in the paper. The moment of truth. Kind of interesting. That was really higher with the end cap on. Yeah, it does affect the zero. Without the end cap or with the end cap, or so you have to zero in the gun actually every time you do something like that. One, two, three. Another one. I can't see where I land. Oh, what? Oh, where I can't see where I'm hitting. Let's try another one. Okay. Well, they're all over the place, but the most important thing, I got nice circular round shape punch holes. So now with my toy silencer, so let's see if this make any difference sound-wise. Let's see if we can pick it up with microphone on my camera. And for you wondering, I shoot most of my footage actually with my iPhone. That's an 11 Pro, and this is my old iPhone 6 Plus, and I use these two mostly. Oftenly I use this one up at the target. If I hit it, doesn't matter, because it's a little jerky and freaks out sometimes, so it's not working even properly. But sometimes it shoots some film for me, and I use it for that. And if I want to do something very special, like the episode 4, which is still not edited but coming up, the files were lost during lockdown in Tokyo. My friend Andrew L. Phillips is gonna edit it, and that one we did shoot with 3 DSLRs and professional sound and everything. So it's gonna be interesting to see the difference quality-wise, but mostly for these purposes, 2 phones work fine for me. Shooting 1080p, nothing special, it's for YouTube, so it works fine. So let's see this one. Let's hear it. If it's any noticeable difference at all. Can't even see. That wasn't even on the paper target. Oh, I see why. It's a lot of sight. I'm gonna hold like 5 inches to the left. Still not hitting the paper target. What's wrong? Let's see, try the gong. Okay, it's on the gong, frying pan. Okay, it's on the frying pan. Now the pellets. So I'm still shooting the 18.13 grainers, if anybody is wondering. So I now have my homemade silencer on and try to see where I land. I haven't hit the paper I'm aiming at so far, but the wind is pretty twisty today. So what I want to see is round, perfect, nice holes punched in the paper. That's what we're here for today. Yeah, they're like spread 4 inches sideways, height-wise 1 inch. It's the wind, but it's still nice and round holes. So what did we learn from that? When you're shooting paper targets, put real target paper up, not like thin printer paper and an unsteady backdrop and they're just, you know, halfway flopping around. And of course you punch funny looking holes into it. I tried this actually back home indoors at around 9 meters, 10 yards, and had the same effect. And then I did put up some real target paper on my backdrop and it was just beautiful round holes. So that was a lesson for me to learn. Most of you all probably knew that from before, and that's the reason why paper targets are paper targets and a little price, because it's thick, good quality paper, and also you have to clip it up properly on a steady backdrop. So basically I have some shots, I have a full magazine, what to do, because I want to switch to the 15.89 grainers, but let's do a couple of shots and then go up to the target and see how it's looking and change, put some fresh paper up. There you are, my beautiful. Oh, these FXs, you have to cock them too. Oh, wait, look. Now the wind shifted, now it's from right to left. Same force, but totally opposite direction. Oh, it's really windy now. They're all over the place. Well, I need some fresh paper up there because it's really hard to see where I landed. The paper is all punched out. So we're gonna load some 15.89 grainers next time. So let's take a look at the paper up there. Bring some fresh paper and see what's going on. Well, Let's go up to the target, look at the paper. For me, I'm not a professional shooter or competition shooter. For me, 110 yards still feels way, way far away. It's a pretty long distance, especially for airgun, but it's fun. Up here at 50 feels pretty close when you try to shoot at 100. So when I'm done up here and get confirmation I don't have any swirling, twisting pellets, we're gonna move down to 50 and try to shoot some accuracy there. Okay, so up at the target, yeah, you can see here pellets all over the place. These are like a smaller group, well, pretty all over the place. But the interesting thing is whatever configuration I did use, pure barrel, no muzzle brake, or the factor moderator tube without end cap or with end cap, I get nice round holes, and that's what I want to see today. Here you can see this is a typical group. I would say that's 3.5, 4 inches in this wind. Well, I'm not out for the grouping today, just want to see round holes. So I'm gonna put some paper up and do the 1589ers and also try the Hades. Okay, let's do it. So okay, we did load the magazine up again with some pellets, this time 15.89 JSB. I consider this the standard 22s that most people are shooting in their especially sub 12 foot-pound rifles. I don't think people are shooting more heavy than that. 1589, maybe even lighter pellets like these 1435, or maybe even this RS, which is 13.43 grainers, but I consider this to be a standard. And I'm shooting FAC like 34, 35 foot-poundish, 44 plus Yule. And since we're in Sweden, I sometimes get the question, yes, I do have a license for this, and you need a license for shooting more than 10 Yule 7.5 foot-pound in Sweden. And but that license only applies for shooting target work paper. So I'm not allowed to hunt like rats or pest birds without a hunter's degree. So that's what I'm aiming for. And with a hunter's degree, you can hunt certain smaller games here in Sweden, like pest control and stuff. Yeah, maybe one day I will be the proud owner of an impacting caliber 30 or 35, just for hunting purposes. Let's see. But now we're going to focus on round, nice holes, and I'm going to do the same procedure but backwards. I'm going to start with a homemade silencer on and just shoot 5 and take piece by piece off, and then check the paper. You can hear the automatic fire in the background at that range, and there's also a range over here. It's nice to hear the oil fire, the powder burners. As I said, I'm not out for the nice grouping today, just want to see round holes. Yeah. 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 Basically the wind died down for a couple of seconds, so if the wind keeps on to die down a little, the groups should get tighter, but now we're just aiming for beautiful round punched hole in the papers. I don't want to see any swirling, twisting pellet holes. No, that freaks me out. I was so freaked out last time. What's wrong with my gun? I tried everything, took it apart, put it back together, and I even, you can see here, I moved everything back like 1.5, 2 inches. Normally this is a little forward, so this recession leave space for you to take off your air tank, but I moved it all the way back because I had a theory maybe this pipe is bent because this pin down from the table hitting the floor, but I don't think this is flexing pretty much, and it's the old smooth twist. It's not a liner, those are weak. This is a real steel pipe barrel, so I hope it's not this. So before I finish, I'm gonna move it, also try to move it back forward all the way where it's supposed to be, and see if I still get those nice round holes. And when I'm done with that, I can sleep well. Okay, that end cap is on now. It's factory, except it's moved back 2 inches, but everything is factory now, stock. Not much wind now, but it's like 4 inches low. It's still low, so it makes a difference depending on what you have on, like the homemade silencer or the factory cap on or off. You have to basically re-zero every time you do something. The wind died off a little, it's tightening up a little. But you guys have to help me out because I was freaked out. Maybe I have some clipping with the factory end cap on and all that, but help me think and feel free to write in the comments below. I mean, my theory is, if I would have any just minor clipping, wouldn't my pellets tumble around at 100 yards or even at 25 or 50? Just help me, because I don't know. That's my theory. I hope it's that way, because as far as I don't see anything except round punched holes, I'm hoping that I don't have any clipping, and I'm a little paranoid because this did fell down from the table on the barrel, on the end of the barrel, but I hope it flexed, but let's see. So feel free to comment if you know, because I don't know for sure. Well, at least they are on the paper, and I would say can be like a 3-inch group something right now in this wind, but most of all it's round holes. That's the most important thing today. So let's take this off. Factory cap. So I'm shooting just with a factory moderator slash silencer without any cap on it. And of course it's going to be louder. Can't even see where it did land. Can't see where I'm hitting. Okay, down there. Now I see. Okay, that was fine. Okay, I'm almost out, so let's shoot the last one. Okay, let's refill. Okay, we loaded up with 15.89s again, and I took the factory moderator slash silencer tube off, so I just have the muzzle brake on. So we're going to give it 5 with that, and then I'm going to remove that so the barrel is totally bare, naked, and see, and then I'm going to shoot the Hades. And hopefully we still get round and nice punched hole in that paper over there at 110 yards. It's gonna be a little loud now. I mean, the wind is still all over the place, but just try to hit the paper and get those nice round holes. Okay, I'm gonna try one of those targets. The wind is okay. Headwind. As you can hear, it's quite loud. Actually, it's way loud. So loud. It's almost like a 22 LR. So I'm gonna use these because it really hurts my ears. Accuracy wise, it's the same as before. They all over the place in this wind. Okay. So the last one is to take this, I think it's called muzzle brake. I call it muzzle brake. You have to forgive me for my English, it sucks, but I try to do this in some kind of broken English so most viewers can understand what I'm saying. I could do this in Swedish, but I think most of my viewers actually are not Swedish. So let's give it 5 with a naked bare barrel. So far, just round beautiful holes. The wind is picking up really hard now. Really hard. It's like 5 inches sideways right now. So I have to hold a little for that. Let's give it another one. I think this is 5. Yeah, that was at least 5. I'm gonna start the Hades with this one, so I'm gonna leave this on. And then we're gonna put the factory cap on as the second alternative. So let's empty these mag with 1589ers and check the targets before we switch to Hades. And the last thing I'm gonna do after I've done all that is to move this back to factory position 2 inches forward with the factory cap on. And that setup is where I had my worst nightmares, that it's clipping there. So let's see. But empty the mag first. Where are you guys? Check there. 220, 215 still. I'm on tether now, so let's see. Okay, there we are, guys. Okay. I think this empty silencer is doing a pretty good job. Sounds really nice. Okay, out of pellets, good. So before we switching to the Hades, we're gonna have a walk up to the paper. Okay, here we have, I think that was my first series with a homemade silencer on. These are, here you can see something. Maybe just the paper is flexing and that's why it ripped the hole like this. This is what we want to see. This is with a stock setup. This is with the muzzle brake off. Same here, you can see the paper is flexing and then it tears the holes like this. But if I push the paper back, you can see the holes are around. That's what I want to see. I freak out when I see things like this. And some hits here. One there, one there. They're all over the place, but so far everything is round and beautiful. So let's reset the targets. So the targets are reset. So I'm going to shoot at these again with the Hades. So let's do it. So let's load up the Hades, and I got a little message, private message. It's not private since it's public here, but this is to Rick. You're one of my big heroes, and if you're ever watching this, Rick, maybe you've done it already because I did a comment, but I would like to see that iPhone in slow-mo, which you did shoot with a 50 cal 360 something grain NSAs, and I'm still waiting for the moving truck offhand challenge. That's the one I want to see one day. That would be pretty cool. Something fun from a moving truck in the back of the truck on the bed. That would be cool. So, I mean, at least for the fun factor, that would be cool because nobody done that before. So let's see. Maybe you can do it as a Christmas gift to your viewers or something. So let's shoot the Hades. And we're doing everything backwards again with my homemade silencer on the end of the factory silencer, moderator, half shroud, whatever you want to call it. Where are you, sweet targets? Up there. Oh, now the wind pick up again. Oh, that was like 15 inches low. Jesus Christ. I wonder why. I've been shooting 18 grainers and now it's like at least 8 inches low. Yeah, could it be the BC? The Hades BC isn't so super great, maybe. So even if it's 15.89 grains, it is hitting way lower than 18.13 grains. But I'm not gonna re-zero. I just wanna see round holes. That's all. Well, I'm happy. I have 3 round holes. Off the factory silencer, moderator, which I'm gonna shoot 3 or 5 open without this, and after that I'm gonna put this back on. Yeah, all right. So let's put this on. Now it's factory setup, except for this thing is moved back 2 inches. So we're gonna finish up with moving this forward and this factory end cap on, everything stock. Can't see where I'm hitting right now, but all I want to see is around the holes. Okay. Take this whole thing off and shoot with this thing. This is what I call a muzzle brake. I don't know if that's correct or not. I call it muzzle brake anyway. It's my gun. I call it whatever I want to. Cocked and loaded, ready to go. Okay. Last thing to try is to take this thing off and shoot with a naked barrel and see if we're still punching round holes with the Hades. And after that, I think we're done with this useless test, but it was fun. We're out. Some nice holes, paper flexing, that's why it looks like this, but actually you can see they all around, so I'm happy. I'm so happy with that, so I'm going to reset the targets. This is also I enjoy doing when I'm out here, taking a little break, a little coffee. Nice. Lovely. Lovely spring day here in Sweden. I would guess it's around 14 Celsius degrees. A little wind shifting, but otherwise perfect. Couldn't be better. I'm quarantined by myself here at the range. I did pull the whole moderator silencer forward to its factory setting, which is like this. So this is so you can unscrew the bottle, otherwise it would hit here. And before, when I did shoot, I had this moved all the way back here because my fear was that this was a little bent with, and I thought I had some clipping somewhere here. So the last final check is gonna be shoot like this. This is total factory stock, and if I still have beautiful round holes up on 100, I can be safe. And I'm gonna shoot my preferred 18.13 grainers. And thank you, if you're watching, Lasse on the road, for inspiring me to choose these, and I tried them out compared to the 15.89ers, and as you told me, they're more accurate with full power, especially when it's windy. Even if the 15.89 shoot well at 25 and 50, it's pretty much pellet and pellet there. But the longer distances, I can clearly see that the 18 grainers are my preferred choice. So thanks, Lasse and Road, for that. So after a cup of coffee, a sandwich, and Swedish tobacco under my lip, for those who wondering what this black is hanging down, that's Swedish tobacco, cold snus. Impossible to shoot without that one. And I also have another one, a little tea bag on this side. So that's great. So we're gonna shoot in fact a factory setup. Everything as it is out of the box with 18.13 grainers. And I mean, the wind is still there. Somewhere, maybe the wind took it off the paper target, but that paper target is pretty huge. It's half the size of a barn door. Okay. At least it's a round hole. Pretty spread out though. Holes look round and nice, but I still get a fear that I have some clipping now when this is moved forward. Well, only way to tell will probably be like this. I'm not convinced yet, but at least the pellets are not tumbling in there. I think they're too spread out. You actually can't tell in this wind. Where are you guys? Can't even see that one. It's very windy. I guess you can even hear the wind now. Yeah, maybe I'm a little paranoid, but it feels like height-wise it's much more even like this than with this on. I'm gonna give it another 3. I mean, sideways okay, but height-wise it should be pretty leveled, even because of the wind. I can't really tell. I'm just so paranoid. Okay. Well, can't tell. So